Hi guys, this is part 4 of the Paving District Number 1 History Project. When the project got started, we were in the middle of a drought. The business owners and property owners started digging up the dirt street to replace their water mains in preparation for the new brick pavement. As the streets got torn up, we started to get rain. And while the newspaper tried to give encouragement each week of how the project was going, they did mention at one point that the streets looked like a war zone. There was also many of these projects going on around the country, so we experienced a great shortage in product. First it was cement to put the concrete base down, and then bricks. Throughout the summer and into early fall, they fought mud and product shortages, but they finally kind of got rolling in the early fall, and the bricks started to be laid. I've heard stories, people mention to me memories from their family of the black man who laid the bricks in Stromsburg, and I'm going to share one of those stories that's from my family. My great-grandfather, my mom's grandfather, Clifford Johnston, was born in 1903, in December of 1903, so he would have been about 15 when the project started. And Grandpa Cliff told that the construction company hired a number of teenage boys in Stromsburg to be brick tenders, and that they could barely keep up with the black man who laid the bricks in the street. Now, I've heard that story a number of times, and through my research I was able to find several mentions of this man in our local newspaper. They said that he was a fast workman, an absolute marvel. People would come to the square just to watch him work. It mentions in there that it would take 6 brick tenders, and not of the slow kind, to keep up with this man. Now, I have what I consider pretty good size hands. I'm going to show you. This is what one of those bricks looks like in my hand. They weigh 8.5 pounds apiece. The newspaper claimed that this man, in a day's work, could lay 25 to 28,000 of those bricks without even being tired at the end of the day. Now, I've measured off in the downtown, and the streets around the square are a little wider. That is almost a half a block of paving. That is over 100 tons, between 100 and 120 tons of bricks that this gentleman laid each day. The newspaper mentioned that he was a highly skilled laborer, and that he was getting paid the big bucks on the crew, and that also he was no doubt the big man on the crew. I have delayed this episode just a little bit because I was trying to find who this man was, what his name was, and I really wanted to give a tribute to him, because I just can't imagine the hard work that this man put into putting these bricks in Stromsburg. I think he was probably an extremely physically impressive gentleman, but I'm betting by the time he was 40, his back was shot, his knees were shot, and his hands were probably shot. He probably had arthritis. But when he was a young man, he was a very impressive gentleman. I've heard similar stories in Polk. I know that Hugh Murphy Company went to Polk after they were in Stromsburg, and old-timers in Polk say the same thing, that there was a black man that laid the bricks in their town. So I'm assuming it was the same gentleman. I'm planning on one more episode, and I've got a few things in the works, but hopefully in a week or so I'll have that up and going. Take care.